Hi everyone, welcome back to Pop Cult X, your go-to show for all things pop culture from a Gen X point of view. Welcome back, Gabriel, to the show. He's still hanging in there with his vocal issues, so we'll say. But welcome back, Gabe. Hope you're doing a little bit better. And yeah, we're on episode 118. A lot of things were going on in the world this past couple weeks, but one that really stood out, and Gabe, I think you mentioned this before we got on here, is the whole ordeal or stuff that went down in Montgomery in Alabama on the docks. Can you give us a little bit?
That's like my like newest obsession is watching the videos of what happened, because I find it to be really fascinating circumstances. So for those of you that don't know, apparently there was a white family who had docked their boat in this river in Montgomery, Alabama. African-American security guard told them to move their boat because another boat needed to dock. They ignored him. I think he moved it for them or something to that effect. They got into their altercation, and basically this group of white guys jumped this black African-American security guard who was just doing his job.
Mm-hmm.
And but the plot twist was, unfortunately, I think that it ended at that, a group of white guys jumping a black guy, we wouldn't have been that shocked. That's something that we see in this country quite often, too much. But the plot twist was that a group of other black people joined in and basically helped defend him because he was getting jumped by this group of white guys, and they did so in such success that they basically just kicked these people's ass. I mean, at one point, I think one guy gets a folding chair and like starts knocking people upside the head. One guy like jumps actually off of a boat and like swims to the dock to try to help. There was just people like appearing out of nowhere. So a lot of controversy with it, because people are saying of course there are people who are saying like you can't condone violence, that regardless of what happened, I to that I say that's bullshit. Had it been just another instance of like a group of white guys beating up this black man, a lot of people would have been silent about it. It wouldn't have been a news story because that happens so frequently.
Mm-hmm.
But because people came to his defense, I think a lot of people are celebrating it as a win. Excuse my voice; it's like cracking. That they came to his defense is seen as a win for society, because people are fed up with this kind of activity and with the same story, the same storyline, and so I can't stop watching the videos. I mean, it's humorous in the fact that these people wanted to start something and weren't able to finish it, and they were very entitled, and they've basically fucked around and found out what will happen. And there's this whole big talk about small towns and like how small towns stick together, and I think that's a good example of a community coming together to protect one of their own. And so I applaud that community for that. Whether anyone wants to call it wrong because it's violence is never right or whatever, I disagree with them in this case, and I applaud them. I think that it was a good thing in this case.
Okay. So I wasn't too familiar with it. So I just saw some of the memes that were going around and now your explanation makes the memes make more sense. Because there was a meme I saw with like the Avengers Assemble, the rings that the Wong and Doctor Strange make to make people appear, and then they had people stepping through them, and I was like, I don't get that. What does that mean? So now it makes more sense.
It's because people were basically like appearing out of every nook and cranny to come to his defense, because there was literally at one point probably 5 or 6 white guys beating up on this black security guard. And so once people saw that, I mean, literally a guy jumped off of a boat and swam to the dock to try to help. So I mean, it really speaks to a community coming together to protect their own. And I think it's good. It's hopefully it sends a lesson that like it isn't the past. Like people aren't going to just stand around and watch something like this happen. And hopefully this is sets a precedent of like you need to be careful what you start because you may not be able to finish what you start, and it may have an outcome that you do not want.
Right, right, yeah, and I think you mentioned it, but the guy was just doing his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's paid to make sure that I guess the dock keeps moving so boats can come in and out, and he's just doing his job. And yeah, no one should have to be attacked for doing their job. I
Yeah.
mean, my
Just a
goodness.
bunch of entitled assholes that thought that they could do whatever they want. And I'm sure they were drunk because like so
Mhm.
many people that are on boats are drinking, you know, all day
Yeah,
and we're just entitled. And because of, you know, racism in America thought that they could bully someone and beat up on someone. And the rest of the community said, nope, not on our watch.
yeah, that's good. I saw a video, not similar, but in the same scope, where I guess this guy had was driving and he ran through a crowd in New York City, and like he injured like 30 people, but he got off on foot, and then other New Yorkers tackled and held him down for the police to get him. So I saw that and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, because most days people are apathetic, or they turn the other, they look away, they don't want to get involved because, you know, that could just lead to more bad things happening. So it's, yeah, applaud those people who decided to step in and say, not today.
Yeah. I mean, because unfortunately, too often we see people just with their cell phones filming stuff
Mm-hmm.
happen as bystanders, and they don't step in to actually help. So yeah, I definitely applaud them for helping out and helping protect this poor man that was just trying to do his job. That's all
Yeah,
he was doing.
you're absolutely right. I always see these videos and you wondering, put the phone down and go help the person out or something like that. You're not
Yeah.
a nature documentarian, who letting nature take its course. Go help out your fellow person,
Yeah.
or yeah. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So needless to say, I've been watching these videos nonstop. TikTok has had like, I mean, people are just coming up with hilarious, comedic takes on what happened, and I'm all here for it. I could watch it 45, 50, 55 times.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Outside of that, I have been watching some good reality television, which I know you're not a big fan of, but there's one called Deep Fake Love, which is a Spanish show, dating show. And
Okay.
what they do is they pick like six couples, they separate them, put one half in one house, one half in the other, bring a bunch of singles, put the singles in both houses,
Hmm.
and to see what happens if they're tempted by these other people.
Ah,
But what happens is that they bring one half of the couple in and they play them scenes of their partner kissing, making out, being, unscrupulous, just doing crazy stuff. But excuse me, the twist is that it's a deep fake video. They have used
terrible.
technology to create fake scenes.
Those
And so the
poor
couple has
people.
to vote whether or not it's real or if it's fake.
Oh, I see.
And at the end of the season, whoever gets the most amount of answers correct wins like 200,000 euros.
Wow.
But
Okay.
they do such a great job. You cannot tell what is real and what's fake because the technology they use, and they hire people that look just like the real person and then superimpose their face on it, and they create situations. It's like it's fake. They make them make out. They're basically having sex with these people, and then they show it to the couple and say, okay, is this really your girlfriend or is this your boyfriend? Yes or no.
Oh man. That's that's mean. But hey, they went into it willingly, so they
Yeah.
know what was going on. So I guess in that regard, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean they're playing for a couple $100,000,
Mhm.
so it's worth it.
That's crazy. That's interesting take on reality TV because it's AI is such a hot topic right now, and that's deep fake stuff is no joke. I mean, it can lead to a lot of. I mean, I see a deep fake stuff as going both ways. People can say, "Oh, that's not really me," in like a criminal defense, that's deep fake. Someone made that. That's not really me,
Yeah,
it is really me, and I don't know. It's interesting.
yeah, it's they do such a great job. It's really funny, because the people just freak out, and you know the truth as an audience,
Okay.
you know what the people have really done, but the person is just like, no, there's no way they could have done this. But the sad part is that some of it is true, and they don't know that their partner is being, a creep.
Oh man, that's crazy. What's the name of it? Deep fake love.
Yeah, deep fake love.
Okay, we'll have to check that out. Is it on what streaming service?
I think it's on Netflix.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. That's funny. Man, I've just been watching an older show. Actually, a couple of shows I've been watching myself. One is older. It's Schitt's Creek. I finally got around to watching it. Oh, it's so good. Such a great
It
show.
is really, really a modern classic.
Yeah, it really is. I'm on season 3 now. It's just so great. Yeah, I'm glad that there's 3 more seasons to go, but I'm sad that it's ending in 3 seasons already. So,
Yeah.
I was also watching The After Party on Apple TV, which is another really great show. I think we talked about that before. I'm on season 2 now, and they did an episode that a couple weeks ago that really did a nice not modern, but a really nice twist on like a Wes Anderson film.
Yeah.
So it was really well done. I applaud the director for their choices on that. It was really, really great. It's called Hannah, the episode. So people out there, if you go watch it, it's really good. And the show itself is really good, and it's really interesting seeing the different, retelling of the same story. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, I did also finally watch. Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Nice.
Yes, congratulations to me. I watched it twice, maybe 2.5, maybe 3 times. I'm not going to tell you in the past couple days. It just was that great. It really was, and not only because it wraps up that arc of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but because it gives you deeper insight to each of the characters. Yeah. And I think that's what James Gunn did a really good job of. We learn more about Nebula. We learn more about Drax, more about Rocket, of course. But of course, they also introduced new characters. And it just blew my mind of how well the story was told. It really did. It really, really did. And I think I know you didn't, when you watched it, you gave us a review, you tried to keep any spoilers. But I don't know if you undersold it, but it was just that great to me. It really was. And this is coming from me. I had to watch Guardians of the Galaxy Part 1 3 times to catch it all because I fell asleep in the first couple times. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
I tried. I fell asleep the first 2 times I watched it, I think. So I finally saw it on the 3rd viewing. And to go from that to right now with Part 3, where I watch it 3 times in like 3 days or a week or whatever, it just shows how invested I am with those characters.
Yeah.
And
so, what did you obviously didn't think that it was too long, right?
No, I didn't think it was too long. I thought it was the perfect amount. I think I could have even had it longer because it didn't feel long at all to me. I wanted to see more of the story, what was going to happen. I wanted to learn more about, the modifications that were done to those kids and everything else that the high evolutionary put them through. I wanted to know more about that. And I don't know, I guess I just thought in my mind that some of the story was going to happen that didn't happen. I thought Rocket was going to be reunited with some of his friends from before, but of course they were killed off, which explained a lot about his character. It really did, about why he didn't have any friends, really, why he didn't get attached to anyone, why he was I saw someone post a theory about that's why he was so attracted to, an eyeball, a leg, an arm, because it reminded him of his friends that he lost. It was just so, I don't know, it was just so great. I'll probably watch it again soon.
Can't get enough of that Guardians of the Galaxy.
And Groot, my goodness, Groot was a tank. He reminded me of I don't know, just the way they designed him in this. He reminded me almost like a Ninja Turtle in a way. Yeah. His character design, which I thought was cool because I'm a big Ninja Turtle fan. So, but yeah, I thought it was really good, and I'm looking forward to it. So, kudos to you, James Gunn, for making me watch it a couple times.
Yeah. So I'm curious, having now watched all three movies, you being a fan of this third one, a lot, does it make you want to go and read any of the comics?
Yes, actually it does. Good point. I next time I'm going to the comic book shop, probably tomorrow, I'm going to be looking for some Guardians comic books, because it did really make me want to read more of their stories.
Yeah.
So, which I think is really cool when the movies can do that, because there is a big right now, I guess, decline in readership amongst the big two publishers. And I think because people out there have so many options when it comes to comic books, whether it be TV shows, movies, or, the comic books themselves, that maybe people are gravitating more towards what they can watch as opposed to what they can read. But because there is such a plethora of stories that I haven't delved into with Guardians, I plan on picking some up.
Nice. Yeah, I was curious about that because, obviously you become a fan of the characters from the movies, and there's such a wealth of stories out there in the comic books that, I mean, you really can expand and learn more about those characters from the comic books that maybe you didn't get from the movies.
Absolutely. And I look forward to that. And that if we were to have James Gunn here on the show, I would ask him, especially as it pertains to his now being the head of DC, does he envision, I know they talked about the TV shows, the animated films, and the regular films all being connected. So I was wondering, could they expand that to the comic books as well, and have some of the continuity flow from the comic books to the movies to the animated films? Because that'd be a nice twist. You want to see what happens next, you go pick up the comic book, or vice versa. You're reading the comic book, what happens? Oh, got to go watch the film next.
Yeah. I feel that they really could use the comic books in a different way than what they're doing. I don't know what their thoughts are, why they haven't done that, but definitely would be a fan of that.
Yeah. So James Gunn, if you're listening, answer our question for us. Come on the show. We'll have a nice little conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
That's about it for me. Probably go watch Guardians again. I know the new Ninja Turtle movie's coming out pretty soon. I'll probably go watch that at home when it comes out.
Yeah,
I lie. I'm not going to go to the theater yet. Maybe I will. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it actually came out last Wednesday.
Oh, see, it's already out. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's already out. I have to go check it out.
Okay.
I go see that and Meg 2.
Did you watch Meg 1?
Of course, I've seen Meg 1. It's just such a stupid movie. It's like a popcorn movie. It's so dumb that I have to watch it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was, popcorn movie is a good way of putting it. Yeah, I like Jason Statham, so why not? We'll go watch it.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for subscribing. Be sure to follow us. We might have, I'm going to tease this a little bit. I picked up the trade paperback of Blue Beetle. Might have something very special going on with this pretty soon, especially since the movie's coming out. The new ongoing series is coming out in September. So look forward to some announcements on our social media. Follow us on Threads, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I think that's it. And look for some announcements of some fun stuff we have planned.
Thanks. Stay safe, everyone.
Bye, everyone.